There is a question on the YouTube from Samadullah Mughal. I've been struck with a difficulty and it is not going away and it has been 2 years. What should I do so that Allah will listen to my prayers, duas? Please help. Brother Samadullah Mughal has asked a question that there is a great difficulty that has struck him since 2 years. He's praying to Allah, the difficulty is not going, what should he do? Difficulty can be of various reasons. Whenever a difficulty comes to any individual, it can either be a punishment for the things you have done wrong, or it can be a test. Whenever there is a difficulty, it may be you have done something wrong, maybe you have done some sin, and Allah is punishing you, or maybe you are on the right path, Allah is checking you, Allah is analyzing you, that even with the difficulty, do you have faith or not, and Allah is testing you. It's a test for you. So, if any difficulty comes, number one is you should istighfar. Imagine a beloved Prophet Muhammad, and there are various hadith. In one hadith it says that the Prophet did istighfar 70 times. The Prophet did istighfar 100 times a day. Imagine the best exemplary human being on the face of the earth. The best prophet on the face of the earth is Prophet Muhammad. There is no better human being that has lived on the face of the earth other than the last and final messenger, Prophet Muhammad. When he, who's the best human being, is doing istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when the Sahaba asked that, Prophet, you ask me for forgiveness, he said, how can I be so ungrateful to Allah that He has given me so many ni'mah, so much of good things. I cannot be ungrateful, I have to do istighfar. So, if the Prophet did istighfar, who are you and me? No, we cannot compare ourselves to the Prophet. He is millions and multiple millions of times better than us. So number one should be istighfar, that if it is due to certain wrong deeds that you have done or certain mistakes you have done, you ask Allah for forgiveness. And if you do it with a sincere heart, Allah will forgive you. Number two, you start contemplating, start analyzing that how is your lifestyle? Is your lifestyle based on the Quran and Sahih Hadith? Is your lifestyle according to what the Prophet has mentioned, what Allah wants you to do? You start analyzing that is your income halal? What you're earning, is it out of what Allah has told you? Is it honest? Or is it of riba? Is it of something haram? So you start analyzing all the things you do. Number one, you're earning. Number two, how do you lead a lifestyle? How do you spend? Is it on the halal way? Is it following the Quran? Is it against? You start analyzing and pondering over your lifestyle. You may find that when you analyze and scrutinize, many things you're doing is not as per the Quran and Sunnah. You may be taking loan to buy a house. You may have taken a loan on interest to buy a car, and you may think it's normal. Interest is the 12th major sin according to Imam Adhabi. And the Prophet said there are 70 levels of interest, and the lowest is doing zina with your mother. Imagine. So many a times people lead a lifestyle and think, oh, I am following Quran, Sunnah, I am doing as per, I am a very good Muslim, a practicing Muslim. But when you scrutinize, you come to know you are doing many major sins. So number one, you first analyze that are there any major sin? Or are there any grave major sin? Then you analyze, are there any major sin? And are there any moderate sins? Are there any minor sins? And you see to it that if you are doing certain things which are haram, you stop it. First stop, if you are doing many haram things, stop the grave major sins, then the major sins, then the moderate sins, then the minor sins. And every sin, of course, has a degree. The scholars have classified into major and minor, some say